Hey everyone, welcome to another vape review video, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this one. So in this video I'm going to be talking about two new products by eLeaf. It's going to be the iJust Start and the iJust Start Plus. I'm going to be making one video for both of them because they're very related to each other, and this way I can actually compare both of them for you guys as far as the size goes and everything else, and even the flavor. Just this way, making one video, I can actually just focus on both of them and compare them to each other so that you guys can see which one is the best one for you. Although I do have two different colors, so you guys are gonna have to just imagine what the other one's gonna be like in the color that you want. But what I'm gonna mostly focus on is just the weight, the comparison as far as size goes, flavor, everything like that. I'm gonna get into the specs of both of them, but I will start with the iJust Start, the thinner one that's a little bit longer, and let's start with this one first. So overall, these are very small devices. One button controls everything, so it's going to be very easy for a beginner. That's why the name iJust Start I guess comes from. It's very simple. It's something that you can just give to someone who's quitting smoking or who's trying to quit, and just tell them to press that one button 5 times and it's all good. So it's a very simple device, and I really appreciate that. It's a device that you don't really have to think about when you're using, and the only thing you have to realize is that depending on how much how charged your battery is, then your vapor production is going to be more or less, just the very basics. But overall, one button controls everything, and it's very simple. So here are some specs about the iJust Start. It has a 1300 mAh battery, GS Air 2 atomizer, GS Air head coil, which is a 0.75 ohm coil. It can go from 8 to 25 watts. The airflow control ring, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. The USB cable and user manual as usual. The entire device, when put together, stands at 136.5 millimeters, quite small. It's thinner than the other one, but longer than the other one. So depending on, if size is your issue, I'm going to compare them later so that you guys can see the difference in size, but it's not that crazy. They are both extremely small devices, so I don't think that should be a problem. Both of them are very easy to fit in the pocket, very easy to carry around basically. The liquid capacity of the tank is 2 milliliters for this one. The resistance is 0.4 ohms to 3.5 ohms, and it's also a 510 thread. Also, the higher the battery level is, the more voltage you're going to get, so if you have recently charged it and it's very fresh and ready to go, it should give you more vapor and also more flavor as well. There are 3 different coils that are available for these setups, depending on what vaping experience you want to go with. There is a 0.75 ohm coil that goes from 8 to 25 watts. There's a 1.5 ohm coil that goes from 8 to 20 watts and a 1.2 ohm coil that goes from 8 to 30 watts. So depending on what kind of vaping experience you want to go with, those 3 coils exist from this brand. So the battery on this device, let's just kind of remove it so that you can see the size of the battery itself. This takes about 3 hours to charge, and I've also had the same experience, about around 3 hours for it to charge. I haven't let this device completely run out of battery, so I don't have that experience of knowing how long exactly it takes from the moment it has completely been drained, but it takes around 3 hours as well. I try to keep an eye out on my device when I put them to charge. The flavor of this tank is absolutely wonderful. Just to quickly go over that as well. The vapor production is obviously, it depends on how charged your device is. To be honest, I've been using this quite a lot today while I was kind of like writing down my notes, so the battery is not 100%. So the vapor production, it's not something I'm going to focus on today because it's just, I want to focus mostly on the devices rather than the vapor production. But this is kind of, even when it is charged, this is kind of the most amount of vapor I'm going to get. So I'm just going to kind of show that to you guys right now. It's still very good for such a tiny little device. It doesn't really overheat. I'm gonna actually, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna vape a few times and see if the tank or the battery heats up a little bit. It usually does, it's normal, but I just want to see if it's crazy or if it's just very subtle. I've never really focused on that before when I was, trying this device myself. it's not overheating. It is slightly, ever so slightly warm down here, right at the bottom of where the airflow adjustment of the tank should be, which is completely normal. That is the part that's heating up to give you that vapor, but it's not crazy. The battery is not overheating, so I'm very happy with that. I guess that was kind of my way of chain vaping. So the battery, how long it lasts for me? It lasts about half a day if I'm going crazy with it. Not like this, so this is just for you guys, but you know, picking it up and doing it now and then, it lasts about half a day to a day. If I'm being a good girl, it will last about a day for me. I haven't had a problem with the battery life. The battery life has been quite solid with me. And yeah, that's what I can say about the battery. Half a day to a day depending on how much I'm vaping. So if you're getting this device, you're trying to quit smoking, charge it, go out, you know, do your thing that day. It should last through the entire day. You shouldn't have much of a problem. Unless you're heavily vaping it, then I really suggest taking the USB charger with you. Charge it with a computer nearby, plug it to the wall, whatever works. But the battery life is quite solid for me. The device is actually very light for its size, which is good and bad. I love the fact that it's light. I feel like I can just put this in my purse and forget that it is there. I can carry it around. I can make quite a lot of vapor with such a tiny little device. I love how these brands are getting smaller and smaller. It's actually quite terrifying at one point, like how small can you get, basically. So it's very light, although very light for its size. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I say this weird thing about liking the fact that devices are heavy enough for their size, so I don't feel like I'm gonna drop it. This has a bit of weight, but very little. So maybe that's a wonderful thing for you guys, but for me, I feel like I really have to grab onto it and not to drop it. They have used kind of a hard plastic for quite a bit of the device. I'm not exactly sure. I think the body might be aluminum, but it feels very light. It feels very light. For sure this does feel like aluminum on the other device, but the top part is definitely harder plastic, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not going completely crazy. And it's a very basic size, the drip tip, so you can just remove it and pop in your gold plated or silver plated or pink, whatever you guys like to put on your devices. I just kind of stick with the one that it comes with. But yeah, this part is plastic. I don't know if there are more plastic parts in this device, but it's quite a light device, which is quite a wonderful thing for a lot of people, because you want something that's portable, easy to carry around. Here we go. So I'm just gonna vape it a little bit more for you guys, mention a few things about the flavor before I get into the airflow adjustment, and just basically the overall device and what I think about it. It also has a dual airflow adjustment, but I have both of the adjustment holes completely open, so this is a very airy way of vaping for you guys, which is, I really like it. I wouldn't want to close up the airflow adjustments at all. I think I'm really comfortable with where it is as it is, but I'll get more into that later. The flavor is really good. It's very true to the taste. I'm not having any problems with it. It's a liquid that I'm very familiar with. This is how it's supposed to taste like. I really like it. There's a really nice balance between the flavor and the vapor. So this is a device that I would go to if I just want to kind of flavor chase and cloud chase at the same time, but in a very subtle way. It's portable, it's easy. I love that about it. Yep, the flavor is absolutely solid. Now let's get to the overall device and a few things, or one thing in particular that I would really like changed, because it just, and I don't really have to get it changed. I can just do it myself, but it's something worth mentioning. I like to be honest with you guys. I absolutely love iLeaf. I think their brand is amazing. They were one of the first that I actually was purchasing before I wanted to review for them. And the first vape thing I got my dad was an iLeaf. There was iLeaf in there. It was iLeaf and Aspire. So it was an iLeaf iStick, I think 30 watt. And the tank was Aspire Atlantis. And so like they have a special place in my heart because they were one of the first that I started purchasing. Let me just move this a little bit. But yeah, so I want to be honest with you guys. I want to be honest with the brand. I absolutely respect them. I think that what they're doing is absolutely amazing. However, I have a huge problem with this ring. I feel like I don't understand why it's here. It kind of feels out of place in a way. And okay, so what this ring is, it's a little rubber ring that you're supposed to fit over the tank, and you're supposed to somehow, it's not impossible, but it's quite difficult to try and get this down there. I'm gonna close up on this a little bit for you guys in a bit so you can see. Maybe I can do that now, hold on. Like, I have the control over this. So, here we go. So this is what I'm talking about. You're supposed to, it's rubber on top of like plastic or aluminum. It's kind of hard to get it down here. And so you're supposed to kind of bring this down, let's see if I'm in focus, and make sure that it's resting over the dual airflow adjustments. So you have to kind of keep pulling it down from all sides, keep turning it around to make sure that it's all even on all sides. And once you have it there, you have to then try, like, well, see, it's opening. Try to like twist it to your comfort zone. And it's kind of difficult because like this is completely closed. So I have to like play around with this until I get this to the desired place. So let's go back here, make sure I'm in focus. Am I in focus? I don't even know. I'm gonna use my thing. Sorry guys. Okay, that's a lot better. So the device itself is really beautiful. It just, having this ring there, it's just a little extra. It's not even the color of the device. It's just, it's kind of sticking out. It's a little bit of an extra piece in there. I personally am totally fine with the dual airflow adjustments being completely open. I'd rather have that compared to putting the ring on and like playing around with it until it fits into place. I think it's just a little misplaced. It feels like it's not a part of the device. I guess in a way it is different. It's somehow, I mean, I haven't seen any other brand do this, so yes, it is very different. But having a device, a little piece that you have to like pull out and put back on, it's a little too much, and there's always a chance of you losing this device when, I'm sorry, not device, losing this piece when you're trying to do it, and there is no extra in the box. Again, absolutely have all the respect for this brand. I'm just trying to be honest with my audience and also the brand itself as a user of their stuff. I think that this was a little bit strange. You know, just trying to fit it. I didn't even manage to do it while I'm talking in this video, but trying to fit this over, pull it down completely and like try to fit it over the holes because it has the little ring. Oh, that's my phone. It'll go away if I ignore it. I don't want to answer. I'm making a video. Oh, this stuff. Okay, so basically this ring has two little holes, exactly where the airflow adjustment holes should be. And so you're supposed to put this down, fit it over the tank, and make sure that it fits both of these and it like covers it entirely, or not entirely, but like leaves a little bit of a hole. You know what I mean? Like you can do this with a lot of the tanks. The airflow adjustment is a part of the tank itself, but in this case it's just a rubber band blocking the holes or allowing air to get in depending on what you like. I think I'm going on a lot about this, but it was very, very strange. I've never seen this, and I think that just the device, I would have been happy if it didn't have a airflow adjustment ring. I mean, I'm just gonna pretend like this doesn't exist, because without it, this is a beautiful device. It looks absolutely sleek, very nice matte black. There isn't a lot of weird things going on. It's just a beautiful device. This part is, you know, plastic. It would have been even nicer if it was the same material as what's down here, but I don't mind it. It's not going to break my teeth. So I can see this whole device. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's very small. It's very sleek. I'm just going to pretend like this doesn't exist, because it just kind of, I'm not going to say it kills the device. It's just weird. It's a strange little thing. And the same ring, slightly larger, exists for the iJust Start Plus, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But I don't think a close-up is necessary anymore for this, but and the same thing applies for the other device, so this entire rant will be, ended here because it's gonna apply to the other one as well. And yeah, that's what I can say about the iJust Start. Later in the video, I'm gonna give you guys a close-up of both of the devices, that way you guys can compare the color, the size, everything you want to know about it. But let's now get into the iJust Start Plus, and then also in the close-up I'm going to show you guys what comes in the box as well. Let's put this guy away, get our iJust Start Plus, throw away the ring because I don't want to talk about the ring. But where is that beautiful thing? Okay, so right here, this is the iJust Start Plus. The reason why it's a little bit larger compared to the other one is the battery size and also the tank. So the iJust Start Plus has a 1600 mAh battery, this beautiful thing right here. This is the rose gold or the gold. This is what it looks like. It comes with the GS Air 2 atomizer, the GS Air head coil, which is 0.75 ohms, the airflow control ring, the USB cable, and user manual. So this entire device, when it's put together, stands at 120.2 millimeters. Opposed to the other one, which is 136.5 millimeters. As you can see, obviously this one's a little bit longer. This is a 2.5 milliliter tank, opposed to the other one, which is a 2 milliliter capacity tank. The battery, it takes 4 hours for this to completely charge, opposed to the other one, which takes 3 hours for it to completely charge. So this one also has the typical normal size strip tip. It's plastic, hard plastic. The device itself is kind of a rosy gold, very nice. It's not too feminine as far as the rose gold part of it goes. I can totally see guys rocking this and it looks very beautiful. The finishing is beautiful matte finishing. I don't feel like it'll be something that scratches very easily or gets dirty that easily, so I really like that. Again, it also comes with the ring, but we're just gonna pretend like it doesn't. And this one is currently very low in juice, so I'm just gonna vape a little bit before I fill it up for you guys. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, both of the tanks are bottom fill tanks, and there are 2 large holes at the bottom of it where you guys can aim for and fill up the tank. So it's very, very clean. If you don't mind, bottom filling tanks, I really don't mind bottom filling. I know that a lot of brands are going for top fill, but I still like the bottom fill. I have no problem with it as long as it's clean, and this one is absolutely very, very easy to fill. So I just filled up the tank just to be sure I'm not going to get a dry hit on camera, because it's quite possibly the worst thing that I could ever experience in front of you guys. And so this is completely filled up now. The cotton has been soaked for a long time. The vapor production is a little bit stronger than the other one. Obviously, bigger battery in here. Even though both of them were not 100% charged, this one gives you a little bit more of a vapor production, and I believe, or at least it just feels like it, because the vapor is a lot thicker, a lot more rich, and the flavor because of that is a lot richer as well. Now the battery life for this one, it lasts a little bit longer for me. It lasts anywhere from a day to a day and a half, whereas what I think I said about the other one was a half a day to a day. This one from a day to a day and a half. It's even smaller than the other one, even though it's a little bit thicker. But as far as which one I like to carry around with me personally, I like this one more. The liquid capacity is a tiny bit more than the other one, and it's just enough to make me happy without it being overly large. Now, while we're on the topic of a tiny device, let's talk about small coils. So the coil that is going into this guy is quite small compared to the other ones that I'm more comfortable with. Let's say the Aspire coils. The Aspire coils, as I always mention, I like to mention Aspire coils because that's kind of what I started with. And the size is, to me, like the standard size, right? So these ones are a lot smaller. And so for me, it worries me a little bit, and it makes me wonder how long is the coil going to last me before it burns out on me, because there is less cotton in there. And it is, when you are having this device charged at 100%, you're getting as much power as you can. So you're constantly, using up your coil or gently burning your coil. So how long is this gonna last before I have to get a new set of coils? So, and then I think about it, is it sacrificing liquid size and tank size if this brand was to make larger coils? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not, familiar, or I'm quite ignorant when it comes to what goes on in their heads when they're building a product. But see, we got this guy right here, and it's quite a small coil. So it just makes me wonder, how long does it last before you have to get a new coil in there or buy a new set of, coils from this brand? Or, I suggest going with the same coil as the brand. It's just a lot safer, but I know that there are brands out there that make coils that fit the size. But it just makes me wonder how long it lasts, basically. So from previous experiences reviewing devices and owning devices that were smaller and that the coil was smaller, I felt like after about a week, if I was vaping, now and then, the coil would start to taste like it's burned, and I have to change it. That taste you get when you have to bid farewell to that coil and put a new coil in there and soak it and be happy with it. But so I kind of wish that, yes, these brands are getting smaller and smaller and smaller as far as the size of their devices go. I wish that they would also keep the coil size in that standard size so that it would last a little bit longer. Just that little extra bit of cotton in there would have made this girl happy. But that hasn't been a problem yet, but in the past when I've reviewed devices where the coils were small, I've had that experience. And so it's something that I kind of wish brands would stay away from doing, is yes, making the device smaller and smaller, but keeping that amount of cotton in the coil the same and remaining larger. The coil would be a little bit larger. I would be happy. I'm losing track of my speech. I have absolutely no problem with it on this device. I've had only fun with this device. Completely putting aside these things, I think this is a gorgeous device. It's beautiful. As I said, I never thought I would really like rose gold in anything, but I like this. This is a sexy device, but very, very sleek and beautiful. I'm so happy with the vapor production, and the airflow adjustments, even when they are completely open, are not crazy. They're not too airy. That's why I say that I don't mind it being the way it is, because it's not too airy. I'm not getting all that air, and you still have to pull a little bit. And I've been vaping over and over in this portion of the video for you guys, and it's not heating up. It's all good. It's a little bit warm, and what do you expect? It's right here, right? The battery itself hasn't changed temperature whatsoever. It's the same as before. And you know what? I was skeptical at first about the drip tip being plastic, but I kind of like it because sometimes I hit my teeth with it, and I'm sure it's less likely that I'm gonna chip a tooth with this plastic head compared to the metal ones. No overheating. The coil is not, the cotton is not getting dry. I know that some devices, they recommend you to wait a few seconds before you vape again, because it takes a few seconds for the cotton in there to soak up a little bit of the liquid before you inhale it. But with this one, I've been kind of chain vaping for you guys, and I haven't had any dry hits with this or any of these two. There are these very, very large, two very large openings where the tank itself meets the coil, so there are a lot of spaces where the cotton is being fed with liquid, so you're not really you don't have to worry about like waiting a few seconds before you vape again. You can totally continue vaping until you feel like you should stop. But I haven't had a problem with chain vaping and my cotton burning. Also, you're able to get these devices in black, white, rose gold, silver, and red. The only difference is the battery size and the tank capacity. But I think I've gone over everything I could possibly go over when it comes to the devices. They are very, very similar to each other as far as the flavor goes, as far as the experience goes. But I'm just going to get close up and show you guys the two devices and kind of compare them to each other. I really hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. I think I've covered pretty much everything, but if you guys have any questions about these two devices, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If I know the answer, I would be happy to answer you. If not, I'm sure one of the awesome people in the community will be able to help you guys out. Yeah, if you want something that is very... Ooh, birds, I'm distracted. If you guys want something that is very simple and very easy... This is really pretty. Very easy to put together, very easy to vape. If you're trying to give this as a gift to someone and inspire them to quit smoking, extremely simple. When I get into detail about these devices, I just kind of do it for the community of people who are loving vaping as much as I do, who like the detail, who like to know, you know, the battery capacity. But I'm sure a beginner does not give a damn about the battery capacity. They just want a beautiful device to vape, and this is definitely that. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. I'm really excited, and thanks to eLeaf for allowing me to review these two beautiful devices. I'm very impressed with them. I'm very excited. They're just gonna join my family of vape products, and I love them. I'm really excited I could make this video, and I had a lot of fun experiencing it and reviewing it for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the video. From here on, I'm just going to start getting close up and talking to you guys a little bit more about the devices. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm not gone quite yet, but make sure to check out my entire vape review and vape related video collection on YouTube. The link is going to be in the description bar of this video. Thanks again to eLeaf. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in the next portion of this video. Bye! So this is what the devices look like. This is going to be the iJust Start Plus box. I just want to show you guys what it looks like. This is the box. It indicates that this is rose gold, which I received. The name is here. The eLeaf symbol, and their website is here. This is the back of it with all the information you need. So the device is obviously not in here right now, but if it was, it would be sitting sitting here like this. So let's pretend. Ooh, look, unboxing. So once you take this out, you remove this part. You get your extra coil in here. This is the 0.75 ohm coil. It goes from 8 to 25 watts. And your USB cable as well. The other one comes with exactly the same things. So now that we have gone over kind of like an unboxing portion of the video, we can start comparing the two devices to each other to see which one would be more fit for you. Now we can start comparing the two models to each other just to see the difference in size. So let's just focus on the battery right now. So this is the size difference of the two batteries as far as the length goes, and the thickness as well. So you have your 1300 mAh battery here on the black and your 1600 mAh battery in the rose gold. Now let's compare the tanks to each other as well. There is only a 0.5 milliliter difference when it comes to these two tanks. This one takes 2 milliliters of juice and this one takes 2.5. And as far as the batteries go, this one takes 3 hours to charge, whereas this one takes 4 hours. Now let's put the devices completely together just to see what they look like compared to each other. And one last time, let's just show you guys the size comparison as well, and kind of how it fits in the hands. This one. This one. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoy the contents on this channel, be sure to subscribe, and if you want to watch more vape related videos, be sure to click on the playlist that is on the screen.